Hi, everyone. My name is Carrie Morgan, and I am the host of this holistic Empire Summit. And this summit, this is like round two of our summits, right? But this round is all about unleashing your purpose, finding that prosperity mindset, and stepping up and creating the profit that you want in your life. I've had the privilege of being around some amazing women all over the world, and today is Katie. Katie has done some amazing things out there. She really helps you find that desire, right, and map it out and really claim what you want. Because it all starts within when you being crystal clear and you walking and stepping into your power. I'm going to let Katie go a little bit deeper on exactly what her gift is in the world and how she's here to help mentor millions of people to own that space and show up for themselves every single day with every breath. Hi, Katie.
Hi, Carrie, and hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. And again, I just want to say I'm honored to be a part of this, and Carrie's created a beautiful community, and so thank you for having me. So my personal journey and thing that I want to share in the world is really helping people tap into your intuition and your desires of what you already know and own in yourself and find it, cultivate it, and bring it out into the world. So I'm a holistic health coach with a background as a doctor of physical therapy, yoga teacher, and I'm honored to be a Desire Map Facilitator from Danielle Laporte. And I've had my own, health and wellness journey, and that's basically what brought me to where I am today. Is I learned that if I can't heal myself, how am I supposed to be able to heal others? And so I mean, that's really what my mission is to teach people how to find what they know and love about themselves and share that with the world. So I'm excited to chat a little bit more.
Great. And I would love to say, I always like to ask all the women, what is the one word that best describes you? Like if I left your presence and we were at an event and I would be like, wow, I would just think of this word, it would pop into my head. What would that be?
So my word is joy. It's something that I have always embodied. I have this kind of like play-like spirit about me, and I love being around children. And I was looking at, my work as a physical therapist and stuff, and I was like, why do I love being around kids? And it's because they express pure joy and bliss all the time. And then I was like, well, that's kind of how I am. And I think all of us have this inner child in all of us that just wants to come out into the world. And the biggest thing is people are always telling me like, Katie, I love your energy. I love your presence. Like you just make me want to smile. And I'm like, well, thanks. I'm just being myself. And I think that is that joy that I bring out into the world on a daily basis with myself is something that I, try to leave with people when I'm there in my presence. So, it's like, I just want to make people smile and feel happy and feel true joy and bliss, which is just like, you don't have a care in the world. It's just really, truly being happy and joyful. So that's me.
That is a great concept, right? Of just sharing that joy with other people. And like you said, it's that inner child, but it's also really about being yourself, right? Showing up, getting out of bed, being you, and changing people's lives, right?
Right.
So how I would love for the audience to know, how long have you been in business? Because some people are just starting out, or some people
hmm
are just trying to feel like, can I do this? But how is your past aligned with your current business? Because this is what people forget, that what they're doing right now, they can make a business out of, right? Or what they've done in the past, they can cultivate a business out of that. So I really would love for you to share that moment with the audience.
Absolutely. So the funny thing is when you ask that, it's like, and I didn't realize this until recently. I've literally been doing this my whole life, and it's just now I'm getting paid for it,
Yeah.
right? But it's something people always talk to me about, anything health and wellness related, but just like how to feel better and how to be a more positive person. And so I well, a little bit about my story to kind of end up how long I've been in business, because it's a little bit of explanation. So I have been a physical therapist for almost 10 years now, and that was my first passion and business. And I have my own private practice and all of that. And then I stepped into the coaching world more recently, but like I said, it was something I've been doing my whole life. So I, very like motivated, driven type A person. I was a college athlete. I was like, yes, I'm going to do all these things. Success, success, success. I went to Duke for grad school, got my doctorate, got a job at the top rehab hospital in the country, here in Chicago. That's where I am. And I was just like, living like this life that I was like, yeah, I'm awesome. I'm doing it left and right, but not, I mean, not in any way that is being like gloating or any, I'm very modest, but, when looking back, I was like, wow, I did a lot of stuff. I was the lead therapist at the hospital. I was doing cutting edge research with national institution. I had a meeting with like the heads of all of these governmental agencies a few years ago when I was doing research at our RIC. It was like, okay, so this person is representing the Air Force. This person is representing our Navy. And I was like, why am I here? And then I was like, wait a second, I have a lot of knowledge to share. So anyways, in all of that, in my journey in the healthcare field, what was really interesting is on paper, it looked like I had it all. I had like this amazing job. I had a great relationship. My family's phenomenal. I'm pretty healthy and everything like that. I had been, eating well, exercising, all this stuff, but something was missing. And I really felt this like emptiness inside. And it was what I was saying before. I was doing so much to help and heal other people, but I wasn't taking care of myself. And what ended up happening is that, I was surrounded by patients that had had a lot of trauma in their life. And I took it all in. And I ended up getting really sick, burnt out. I caught these weird illnesses that people are like, no one gets. Oh, the swine flu? Yep, had it. People are like, nobody gets that. I was like, no, I was sweating through all of my clothes, 105-degree fever. I remember I went to the doctor. I was finally like, okay, I need to go to the doctor. They were like, you should not have left your house. You need to wear a mask everywhere you go. I was like, really? People actually have to do this? So that happened. I got in a car accident on my bike. I walked to work so I had to stay home with a swine flu, but I was like, finally, once I didn't have a fever, I went to work, even though I still felt terrible. I got in a bike accident, had my hand splinted up, like walking cast type of thing on my leg. And I'm going into work still trying to teach people how to walk, how to stand, how to balance. And I couldn't even walk myself. I was like, what are you doing, Katie? So I finally was like, okay, take a step back, like what is going on here? And that's when I started to really tap into, what do I want? How do I want to feel? What do I want in my life? And how can I show up and share what I know I have deep inside me? And I know that, like, as a physical therapist, I was doing so much amazing, incredible work. And I actually still see patients now because I believe it's a gift that I have to be able to heal and share that with people. But I realized I had this bigger calling in that I had to teach people that you have to take care of yourself first in order to do the work that you do and heal and help other people. So, now I'm working more with healthcare providers, coaches, teachers, people that are in a job where they're healing and serving other people, but teaching them how to heal themselves first. And the first way to do that is really tapping into what you want and how you want to feel and how you can show up and share your gift, your authentic gift that you have with the world. So, long story for all of that. But so I've been doing that for, like I said, my whole life, but really truly for a little over a year, and really owning that, yes, I am doing this to teach other people. But I had been doing it for a really long time, but it was in doing it in a business where I'm actually getting paid for it.
Yeah.
Because I think one thing that's hard is when you come from a place of service, some people, and I know you have other people talking about this, but it's hard to charge money for that because all you want to do is help and serve. But if you aren't open to receiving, whether that is a gift from somebody else, whether that's money, or really just receiving anything from anyone else, you're actually not allowing that person to give. So if you think of it that way, you're like, whoa, you have to be open to receiving. If you're a person who gives naturally, if you don't receive and allow yourself to receive and refill yourself up, you're not going to be able to give to the fullest capacity that you want to give. So That's something I teach people how to do because it's really, really important, especially when you're coming from that place of service. So,
Yes, that
yeah.
is very important to definitely deal with the receiving part, right? And like an example, if someone says you have your hair looks so nice, Katie, and then you would say, really? Like I didn't even comb it. You know what I mean? Like if your thoughts are that, then you're also
Yeah.
not even receiving that compliment. And that's the
Right.
same thing. It's just your body's cutting off the receiving and the giving process, right? But we want
Right.
to just give and we don't want to receive. But I love how you went into how you were helping so many people, but you forgot to help yourself. And what
Right.
a lot of service and healers forget is that you got to protect your like energetic body because you
Yes.
start attaching your stories and you start healing them, but you're
Mhm.
claiming their story or you're claiming their damage or you're claiming their situations, right?
Yes.
Where it's almost attaching and it's depleting you little by little, but your body said enough. Right. So when
Yes.
that happens, it's like you can't do it anymore. It's like
Right.
it will shut you down. Your body will physically say, this is not what you're doing anymore. Right.
Right. Well,
And
and that's the
yeah,
thing. Like, our body is, I mean, I'm such a science nerd. So, I mean, I could talk about this for hours, but your body knows intuitively, your body knows whether it's physically on a spiritual level as well. Like, and that's why I was saying in the beginning, it's like, I'm not teaching people things they don't already know. It's just tapping into what's already there in your body and in your soul. But when you are running ragged and when you're trying to give so much to other people, but also, like you just said, you're taking in other people's pain, suffering, and trauma. And I was dealing with trauma on a daily basis. And whether that's physical, I mean, it was physical trauma, it was emotional trauma, it was mental trauma. I had to tell people every day, your child may never walk again. I don't know if they're going to be able to get out of this bed on their own ever again. Like, that is not an easy thing to be able to do.
yeah,
And I just brushed it off like, oh yeah, no big deal. It's just I'm doing my job. And so I didn't realize how much trauma and everything I was taking in. And yeah, your body gets to a point where it's like, you can't do this anymore. And it shuts down. And what we really need to do more honestly than anything is really listen to our bodies, listen to what our bodies are telling us, listen to what our soul and our mind is telling us. And the best way to do that is to just slow down and listen.
yeah,
And it's the hardest thing for so many of us to do. Even people that, like, I feel like both of us are good at this, but it's something I struggle with every day, you know? You have to be like, wait a second, stop, slow down, breathe. Okay, what's going on here?
yeah,
And it's being a little more of just listening, but tapping into your intuition. It's like, you know this stuff already, you just have to listen. Just
yeah.
not
I
easy at
definitely,
all.
it is definitely not easy at all. And I'm going to say that yesterday I was just like, I'm just going to watch football. And that was just like my thing. I was like, you know what? I'm not doing anything, cutting it off. I'll just watch football. But that goes
Yeah.
right into because I just said, I'm just going to do that. I just need this time to just like mindless stuff. Right. And that's what I told.
Right.
But and it does help me. I did feel restored. I felt amazing when I woke up this morning. And that brings us into how do you master your 24 hours as a female entrepreneur now? How do you stay in, like, what is your key alignment for your business? How do you stay in that flow?
Yeah. So first off, I love the flow. Like, in order to create flow, I think you have to create space. So the biggest thing that I have done and changed and transformed in the past few years is really slowing down. So, like, for example, this morning I got up and I was like, you know what? And this is something I do most mornings. I hate feeling rushed, and that's how I used to be all the time.
Yeah.
So and sometimes people are like, oh, does that mean I have to get up earlier? No, actually, it doesn't, but it could mean getting up 5 minutes earlier. But it's being aware of how you're spending your time. So I wake up, I make warm water, and I put lemon in it to just like cleanse my body. That's just a principle that I've incorporated into my life. I'm a yoga teacher, so it's like the Ayurvedic cleansing principle. So,
I
you know,
do
I
it
have to do
too.
that. So I have that, and I just like get my body set. I do. I love to drink coffee. It's this ritual of something warm. It's weird, but for me, holding something warm kind of warms my soul a little bit, and it reminds me of my best friend who, when we lived together, we would get up early, have coffee, and just chat. And you know, she lives in California, I'm here in Chicago, so I don't get to, you know, see her or talk with her as often as I used to. So that like warm cup of coffee to me is like my bonding time with like my soul sister, Megan.
Yeah.
And so I have that time. And when I do that, it's not like I'm drinking coffee and checking emails or doing things like that. If I'm doing anything while I'm drinking it, it's I'm writing in my journal, or I'm reading something that helps me kind of tune into my day. So those are two really important rituals that I have. And then also taking time for meditation. And I know for me, honestly, like the first time I was like, oh my God, meditation, no way. I have
Yeah,
to
so
sit alone
many
with my
people.
thoughts.
Right.
That's scary. What the hell is going to come up? I don't want to think about any of that kind of stuff. Like seriously, the first time I meditated, I was bawling, crying, sobbing because stuff came up and I was like,
A
I can't do
lot
this
of
ever again. This is terrifying. But one thing that I've learned through my own meditation practice from my teacher train in my yoga teacher training, we were not forced, we had the privilege of doing 30 minutes of meditation that
it's
we then
forced.
discussed. Yeah,
In
but
the beginning,
it
it
was I
feels
mean it
forced, right?
but it was such a gift. Like looking
Yeah,
back at it, it was such a gift because I got totally out of my comfort zone.
yeah.
But I don't always do that 30 minutes a day because it's hard. But even if it's just 5 minutes, and something that I like to teach people when it comes to meditation, it doesn't have to be, sitting on your pillow like, it can be going for a walk. It can be doing what I call an appreciation walk, where you walk around, your phone is in your pocket. You maybe are listening to music. If tuning into music, like for me, music is amazing and can heal, but you're just actually aware of your surroundings. So you're going for a walk. In nature is always preferred, but I live in a city and that's not always possible. But I actually look around, like smile at someone when I'm walking. Heaven forbid somebody does that. And then you just
Exactly.
you just notice your surroundings, and that's a form of meditation. It's really just being mindful of your situation. So I think the funny thing is that the goal of meditation is not thinking, but it's as soon as you get to there, you're like, yes, I reached it, I'm not thinking. Well, then you're not in that optimal state because you're thinking about it. So it's this, you're thinking about not thinking, but then you're thinking. And so that people are like, what the heck? But really, meditation can be a simple thing of closing your eyes and taking a few deep breaths. So some days I do that. Some days I sit and actually meditate, like on a meditation pillow in that sense. And some days I go for a walk. And then what that does is creating that space allows me, or taking the time and creating that space allows me to be way more creative, way more efficient, and way more productive in my business. So whether it's creating that space, so I'm on a call with a client, or I'm creating content for one of my programs, or a webinar I'm doing, or writing my newsletter, or things like that, having to be able to create that space and having that ritual in the morning just sets up my day for so much more success, and allows me to be, like you said, in that flow. So it's the lemon water to cleanse my body, having my warm cup of coffee. I've gone through times where I cut the coffee out and whatever, but it's not I need it, it's like it fills my soul.
Yeah.
Having either journaling or meditating in any way. And then the other things I do throughout the day is, I am like a health and wellness coach, so I got to practice what I preach. But I do eat well, but it's about putting things into my body that make my body feel good. So I put food in that makes me feel good, and sometimes that's a burger and a beer, or like some wine, or having dessert with my friend, and that's fine. It's just that, like, I'm not doing it all the time, and it's okay. And I'm not feeling guilty when I have those indulgent moments. Like, it's okay. It's really okay. Unless your body, like, physically cannot take that because you have a condition, or have some kind of stress or illness going on in your body, then yeah, cut those things out, because you're going to feel like crap when you have it. So it's basically like, don't put crappy things in your body because you're going to feel crappy.
Yeah.
And also, I move, I exercise because it feels good for me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and it's just a way that I've incorporated into my lifestyle, so that I'm setting myself up for success and just feeling good each day, so that I can do what I love. And when you come from this space of like, I feel good, I want to do this, and that's really the big thing that I do, is teaching people how they want to feel and tapping into that. So that's what I do every day. I ask myself, how do I want to feel today, and what can I do to bring that feeling in every single day? And that's the biggest honestly, the biggest ritual that I've done is asking myself that question. And it's the most powerful shift you can make. So simple. It's, oh, how do I want to feel
Yeah.
today? I want to feel joy. How do I do that? Okay, boom. And that's what I do. So,
Good. I love that. No, I love that whole concept of, making sure that you're feeling a certain way and really owning your space, but coming from that sense of just complete bliss, but asking and not feeling rushed. So many people are rushing through life. They
right.
don't even connect with their breath anymore.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
yeah.
That's so funny that you said that, Carrie. I used to, my little sister actually told me this, gotta love siblings. They always point out the obvious. But I used to be at my computer, like shoulders like this. I mean, I'm a physical therapist. It's like, Katie, get a massage. Come on. But I would be like this, typing and like, she's
Yeah.
like, why are you gasping? Or like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm holding my breath while I'm working.
Yeah.
What's crazy is so many people do that. And it's just like simply being aware of breathing can be really powerful. And it's something that we forget about. I mean, or your body will kick in obviously and start breathing naturally.
But it's
Your
not
body's
the right breathing, right? It's not
right.
the right breathing. It's like it's almost like it's the shallowest thing. So how babies breathe is in through their nose and out through their nose, and that is called ujjayi breathing, ujjayi breath. But that breathing is a healing process, but it really does get your body back into that sense of ease, right? Which
Mm-hmm.
so when people are afraid of ease, they're afraid they're not going to hit their numbers if they're calm, but actually you will be in an alpha state of mind when you're in those numbers. So I would love to go into since this is a new, just let me be clear on everybody. We had to redo this interview because, me, I didn't hit record. I don't know. I was using this new system, so I'm not going to lie, but I love Katie for coming back. I just wanted to say thank you. But I know you do the whole the map desire, and I would love to go back into what we did before when we did
Yes.
desire map. And you just,
Yes.
get me through or let me figure out what I'm doing that is not
Mm-hmm.
letting me find my true desire. So yeah,
Yeah.
let's go into that. That was fun.
Absolutely. Like,
Okay.
Carrie, I mean, I love talking about this and teaching this. And so it was funny that the first time I discovered, actually, it's funny, I actually think I have a thing behind me that says, how do you want to feel today?
Yeah.
So that is one, the question that you really ask yourself when you're doing the desire map process. And I have to say, I got the opportunity to meet Danielle Laporte, and the woman is magnetic.
Ooh.
I literally bumped into her. I was at a conference. I bumped into her and I was like, I love you. And I gave her a hug and she's like, girl, let's sit down. Let's chat. She signed my book and all the stuff that I had. But, what's amazing is that she's seriously magnetic. Like her presence, her power as a woman is incredible. But, she comes from this place of gratitude, which is what, I'm all about as well. And she just said, thank you so much for helping spread my mission to people, because I'm a facilitator. So what I do is I take people through the process that I'm about to do with you. But she was just like, thank you for helping others find this. And I was like, thank you for creating this. But what's really cool about it is that, I have this foundation of what I've learned from Danielle, but I also, have the freedom to incorporate it into my work and how, weave my personality into it. So, there's this framework and structure of going through it, but it's also, I add my little Katie spice and flair to it. And so it's so fun for me. And it's just naturally something that I love doing. So I love teaching it. So the foundational piece of the desire map is that we're not chasing goals in our life. We're not trying to check things off the to-do list. We're not, achieving those New Year's resolutions. What we really want is the feeling behind what achieving that goal gives us. So if you're trying, let's say you're making a New Year's resolution to make,
Yeah.
$100,000 this next year, like you're really trying to break into that six-figure level. Why do you want to get to six figures? Why? What is that going to bring you? What does that really mean to you? So people are like, well, I want to make six figures because I want to be successful. Okay, well, what does success mean to you? Why do you want that success? And you really get deeper into it. And it's not, so, for some people, and I'll have you do this, but I'm just giving an example. Some people will be like, oh, what I actually want is for someone to respect me. And I think that in getting those six figures, I'm going to get that respect. So you're actually going for the feeling of respect, being heard, being honored for what you do. And when you come from that place of not just trying to reach the money goal, but when you're trying to achieve that feeling of being respected, you're gonna reach that money goal, but you're also going to enjoy the process of achieving that feeling, because
Yeah.
you're coming from this place of what you really want on a soul level, and it's so powerful. So that's really the foundation of what the desire map is, and it's getting deeper to not just, oh, I want to feel good. No, you got to go deeper, and
Yeah.
when you get deeper, and that's what we're going to do, and then the word usually changes. So like when I said my word, one of my words is joy. Um, it started off with happy, and then I was like, well, happy's kind of lame, and happy's super general. And so I went through it, and I got joy, because for me, joy is like ultimate happiness. It's bliss. It's like the highest level energetically of where you can be. So that's where I want to be. So yeah, let's go through the process a
Yeah.
little bit.
Okay, cool.
And the thing is that we do this in 5 different areas of your life, but I want you to kind of pick one that you think would be best for you now. And we'll actually, I'm just going to make a suggestion of one, since just with this, the framework of what this summit is,
Okay.
let's do it for like career and financial success, or not
Okay.
success, sorry, career and finances.
Okay.
Because there's actually 5 different areas. It's your livelihood and lifestyle, which is what the career falls under. It's your body and your wellness. It's your creativity and your learning, your relationships and how you interact with society, and then your essence and your spirituality. So you look at these
Cool.
5 different areas of your life, and you pick, how you want to feel. And what happens is sometimes there's overlap, and sometimes they're separate things. So you usually end up with about 3 or 4 core desired feelings of how you really want to feel. So
Okay.
this whole process is like a long thing, so we're just going to take a piece of it. So
Okay.
let's do, for you, Carrie, your livelihood and your lifestyle. So
Okay.
in looking at that area of your life right now, just how do you want to feel when it comes to your career and your lifestyle?
Okay. So I just want to feel like I've made it, right? Like I feel excited. I feel confident in this
Mhm.
process that I've done, that it's finally there, right? Because you feel like you put in all that work and you're like, is this worth it, all that work? But you know it is, but it's those
Mhm.
mindset shifts. But definitely for a career, you just want to be like, okay, I feel freedom, but also feel this sense of ease and this sense
Mhm.
of completion, right? Like, I mean, I guess you're never going to be complete, but just complete to that intention that you really want to set in life, and really see that change start to show up in people's lives. Full
Okay.
fledged, like millions of people, right? You know what I mean? 'Cause that's the
Right.
big picture. It's just not like you're helping those 2 or 3 people every once in a while. It's like when you're up there, and like I could see myself in front of like the stage, like speaking in front of people, like that,
Mhm.
like that's that intention.
I'm grabbing my pen. Um, I'm just writing a couple things down, because I heard you say a lot of things. I heard you say freedom. I heard you say kind of this recognition,
Yeah.
and the other thing is just touching millions of people. So impact is
Yeah.
another word that I kind of hear with that. So with those in mind, why do you want to achieve all of those things?
I definitely want to achieve them for my son, just to be like, hey, you can get out there and accomplish what you want. But I also know that I can help people, right? I can genuinely help people. And I want to do it because I have this gift. And I guess I was covering it up so much in my life that I kind
Mhm.
of said, enough is enough, and show up, right? So I guess these
Mhm.
whole summits too are for me to like fully heal just get out there, right?
Yeah.
And start doing this, right? Because I've had these downloads all the time about, well, what if what if people really found out what women do in their day and how they're successful, right? Well, what would that look like? So I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, let me share, let me find these women so we can get this knowledge out there from everyday women. But for me to be more of a mentor is what I feel like I've
Mm.
been stepping into my greatness and I'm ready to just own my greatness, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, that's what I definitely think it's for.
Awesome. So, you start with a couple words and a couple things of what you're reaching for. And then when you think about why, sometimes it goes even deeper. So, the next thing that we're going to do is basically look at what's working and what's not working. And the reason why we do this is because we want to clarify what our desires are so that we can really understand what the deep desired feeling is. So, in reaching this, this freedom, this impact that you want to have, this success, what are you grateful for, and what's working with what you're doing right now?
Okay, so I am grateful for the life that I have right now, right? I don't want to say that I'm not grateful, but all the opportunities and everything I've had in the past, I think, like you said, has been aligning me to this
Hmm.
goal, like we ran an MMA business, like UFC fights for 5 years, entertainment business. And I was just like, I didn't even realize that we were so big. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
now I look back and I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, okay, so it feels like you're just always starting when you're doing something new and reinventing yourself. You're in this new space and no one knows you, right? So you have to get
Hmm.
back to that level. Um, so I feel like that. What was the question? And what's working? What's not? Oh, what I'm grateful
Oh
for?
no, what are you grateful for? Yeah.
Yeah,
So you said that it like, your past has kind of brought you to where you are today. And then when it comes to this gratitude, I guess I'll ask other questions to help like clarify it and get it a little simpler. So when you achieve this freedom, this impact, like this bigger mission that you want to have, how does that benefit your life?
okay, so that would benefit my life that I would be able to think of different ways to help people, right? Like I could be able to like make products or, do retreats and do my private masterminds and all these things that I have in my head. Because
Hmm.
I'd be able to build a bigger team. I wouldn't be doing all this like $10 task, right? I would be doing the
Right.
like $10,000 task and, and
Right.
creating and building systems that will generate more passive income, but also that will let me be able to shine more in what my gift is instead
Hmm.
of me doing all these little tiny things that are not fully letting me be seen who I am. So that's the real purpose when it comes down to it, right? Being able to have that team, that support
Hmm.
behind you so that you can get your message out there for more people.
Yeah, and I love what you said there too. It's that, when you actually get the support, you're able to do what you're meant to do. I wrote down this word and I don't know, this resonated with me, but shine. Like you're able to shine. You're able to do what you are meant to do and just like glow and emanate and have your mission reach more people. And when you're shining, and when you think about the sun, like how much you can touch and how many people you can reach. So thinking about that, how would that increase your happiness overall?
Um, that would definitely increase my happiness because I think at that point, I would feel complete. Like, yes,
Mm.
all this work has made me feel like I'm doing it. I'm really helping people on a
Mhm.
level that is inspiring people, right? And when I could just, feel it, and every day you wake up, you know that there's someone else's life is changing by your product, by
Absolutely.
your audios, or by your podcast, or whatever is out
Whatever.
there.
Mhm.
Yeah, and and being in that spot is where you find that happiness, right? Because all those
Mhm.
sacrifices and everything that you did in the past has
It's worth it.
finally, owned the reality or the intention that you set.
Yes, for sure. So you think of like all of this space of where you want to go and what it would create. And I mean, I'm just even like listening to you and seeing you like you're like, ooh, this is what I want. But then what you need to do is like I was saying before, you're thankful for what you have and where it's going to go, but you also need to get rid of things that don't serve you and create space because You know, there is only so much on a scientific level. Matter, energy is not created or destroyed, it just moved and shifted. So in this area of your life with your career and your livelihood, what can you shift? What can you get rid of so that you can create all of these things that you do want? So what do you think is not serving you now that you can let go of?
Okay, so probably what I can let go of is thinking I have to do it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been totally good at just like I'll take one weekend and just clean out clutter. You know what I mean? Like old paperwork or just stuff that maybe sitting around visually, which actually makes me feel amazing. But
Yes.
the concept of thinking you have to do everything, and start delegating a lot more, but being comfortable with the delegation, right? Because you
Yeah.
have a hard time of letting that go. You want to let it go, but you're still like looking over it. Yeah,
Yeah.
but definitely I would find space there.
Yeah. And even it's like trusting that if you do delegate, like they're going to do it in a way that's good. And that's really
Yeah.
hard, especially when you have your own business. I mean, I'm saying that's something that I've definitely struggled with as well. And I think all, entrepreneurs do at a time. You're like, this is my baby. This is something I've created. And it's hard to give it up to other people. But when you do that, you relinquish control and you trust that it's all going to work out how it's supposed to. You're creating more space for your bigger vision.
Yeah.
So, now that we've kind of figured out, okay, what's good, what isn't working, what can we do? What we're going to do now is really, I want you to pull a little bit more of to get closer to the word, because the goal of doing the desire map is getting these words, these core desired feelings. So you kind of started with this like recognition, impact, freedom. Those are words I heard. And then as you've said more, these are other words I've heard, but I don't want to. The other thing is, I don't want to tell you what your word is,
Okay.
but I want you to. This is what I heard, and then let me know how that feels to you, and then we can kind of shift. So the more as we asked more questions, other words I really heard were shine, complete, and I think impact is another big one. You said it in the beginning, but you're kind of said it as well. Do any of those like sound like it is for you, or in just asking some of those questions, has it shifted to a different word or a different feeling for you?
Yeah, I do like all those words, and I do feel like probably the main word is I like the shine, but I also feel like captivate, right? I want to be
Yeah.
able to like just captivate people when they are like, whoa, this is what I need. This is how I need to feel. This is how I need to shift in my life. And, I know I've been training for this because like everything I do just by teaching the yoga, but also I
Yeah.
started like this small little thing where I do this aqua yoga, but I help these women feel amazing. And they're like, oh my God, you've helped me so much with my mind. And it's just so, and I'm like, okay, I've been doing this so that I can go and do it in front of audiences of millions of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that captivate, and that word keeps popping up. I want to be able to captivate. So I think that that's it. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's so powerful. And like, look at you. You're like, yeah,
I'm
that's right.
like,
I can
oh,
just
I
see it.
found it.
I can see it in your body. And that's the exact feeling that you want. Once you find that word, you're like, yes, you can feel it in your body. And you just lit up when you said that. And captivate is such a powerful word. So obviously, Carrie, you've done a lot of internal work that like you were able to get to that. So sometimes that isn't as easy for people. So you literally have to go to like, okay, my word was shine, but that's not right. You can like go in a thesaurus and start looking up
Mhm.
other words. So if that's a harder thing for you to do, but I like girl, that write that down, like put it up somewhere and captivate. That's so powerful. That totally is in alignment with the mission that you have. And if you can like, I'm just thinking of the impact that you're going to have as you're captivating the audience, you're captivating people, you're touching individual lives, and what's it going to do for you, your family, every single person you interact with, your team, like all of this stuff. Like that's such a powerful word. So to really get that deeper into your core, what we're going to do is tap into the feelings behind the word. So I want you to go ahead and close your eyes.
Okay.
So you're going to take a deep breath in through your nose. And then exhale, just let everything go. And then just like you were saying before, you're going to start that ujjayi breath to get your mind in that space where you can really connect to the feeling. So find your breath in and out through your nose. And we're going to really connect deeper into that feeling of the word captivate and what that means for you, Carrie. So I want you to think of a time in your life when you were really able to captivate others and go into that feeling in that space. It can be at any moment in your life. So I want you to find that time, that experience, and keep breathing and just start to notice what's going on around you. Notice how you feel. And notice how your body feels. What's your posture like? How are you standing? Are you moving? Are you walking? Are you sitting still? What's your body doing? Where do you feel energy flowing in your body? And then really breathe it in. What does it smell like around you? What is the sensation of the environment, of nature? Where are you? And then visually, what are you seeing? What colors do you see? Who are the people that are there with you? Just really look around and notice what's going on as you're feeling this captivation. You're captivating the world around you. What do you hear? And I just want you to really take it in and have the whole sensory experience and the feeling really pull into your body. And take a deep breath in, soak it all up. And exhale, let it go. And then as you're ready, just open your eyes.
Oh yeah, that was good.
And it's something knowing that like you can picture that moment at any time in your life. And what I like to tell people is when you ask yourself, how do I want to feel today? And your word, Carrie, is captivate. I want to captivate. What can I do today to captivate somebody? And it can be, the summit is an amazing example. But you're not always going to be able to run a summit every single day, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
what else can you do to captivate someone? And it doesn't have to be a large audience. It can be, hey, one person, like you said, those women in your yoga class, like that you're able to captivate them in a way, and your presence is there. So if you're struggling ever, you can just go back to that space, that experience that you just had, and say, oh yeah, I know what it feels like. And then you're really tapping into that core desired feeling of what it feels like. So I mean, in doing that, do you feel like, oh yeah, I got a good picture of what that feels like for me?
Yes, I definitely had a big, huge picture and I loved it. Just like being able to sit in that space, which was
Yeah.
amazing. That was absolutely perfect. That
Yeah.
brings us right into thank you so much, Katie, for that experience.
Oh, for sure.
Because last time we did it was a little different, and this time I felt like, oh, I like everything was like much better, doing it this
Yeah.
time, right?
Well, what's interesting, sorry, before you ask that question, is I feel like even before, so, hey, it's good that we redid this because um, we actually got deeper even before we got to the visualization piece, which is when it's really more powerful. So that's why sometimes you got to peel the layers. Like, so you start somewhere, and what we did last time was good, but we got even deeper this time, and I think that's why it was a more impactful experience for you. So that's something to kind of keep in mind with people as you're doing this. It's something you should revisit because the deeper you get to it, the more you can really connect to the soul experience of the feeling, and that becomes more powerful, and then you're able to kind of cultivate and manifest it in your life more. So
Yeah, I totally felt it. I definitely do.
yeah.
I'm going to say that. And that will bring us into like, what is your big vision, right, for yourself? Like, how do you see your ultimate performance, your existence, or a legacy for worldwide expansion? How does that feel for you?
So basically, it's funny, like I think we have a similar vision because I want to teach people the process that I just took you through. I want to teach more people that process. And, I work a lot with women, and I think that the more you can heal women, the more you can actually impact more people because women naturally are the nurturers of society, of the family, of relationships and things like that. And it's something that women struggle with is really tapping into the intuition that we all have as women. And so I want to just teach and impact women to really connect with who they are, and so that they can show up and share their mission and their vision, whatever it is, with the world, because that's how we can make an even bigger impact on the world. So I want to do even more speaking. I want to get in front of other people, and I know my gift is teaching, and teaching in different facets. I think that's why
Yeah.
being a yoga teacher was like so natural for me. When I have students, that's been so natural for me in any job or area that I have. And so in my coaching realm, I just want to teach and touch more and more and more people, because I know that through my work, I'm going to help people spread their work to the world. And I think in this, and everyone's always like, Katie, you're such a dreamer. This world isn't possible. Yes, it is. It's just you need to recognize the gift you have, whatever that is. And everybody has a unique gift, and you need to share that and spread that with the world. And that starts with being grateful for what you have, connecting with what you really want and how you really want to feel in your life every single day. And that is the mission I have, and just spreading that and letting people know that it's okay to do that. It's not
Yeah.
selfish. You don't need to feel guilty about that, because the more you heal yourself and you show up as yourself in your life, the more you're able to heal, help, and impact other people. And it's actually selfish to not take care of yourself. You
Yeah.
have to take care of yourself so that you can do what you're meant to do in this world. And I mean, it's just so powerful when you can do that. So I just
Yeah.
spread it to more people.
No, that's definitely perfect, right? And that comes to like the point of, there's an iPhone. No one thought that we could ever use a phone like that and do the things, right? So you can dream, you can make things happen, and you
Totally.
can step into your power. So that comes down, we're almost done. I just want to go into like, what does spiritual alignment look like for you, and how has that helped you, to have a more abundant mindset, right? Because you come
Hmm.
from a different energy of what you think of. And I love that
Right.
about you. So I would love for you just to tap into that. And that would be great.
Yeah, for sure. So for me, spiritual alignment is truly showing up as myself and being authentic and not judging myself, because that was something I did a lot. I was raised, it's funny, I feel like I've had a very spiritual life, but in different ways. So I was raised in a really Catholic family, in a very religious mindset of spirituality, and I still have that piece of me. But what I have found is my own authentic, unique spiritual practice for what works for me. So
Yeah.
my spiritual alignment is not judging myself for my spiritual practice, and that it doesn't have to be the way that I should do things, and I don't have to do what people tell me I need to do to be more spiritual. I need to do what feels right in my gut. And so for me, that has been, teaching yoga is a very spiritual practice and experience for me, because it's how I connect with other people in a way that honestly just naturally flows for me.
Yes.
Practicing yoga is a very spiritual experience for me. It's how I connect my mind and my body and my spirit and my soul. Meditation, there are some days where I'm really into it, and there's some days where I'm like, yeah, no, that's not happening. But my going for a run could be a spiritual experience for me. So it's really, my spiritual alignment is not judging my practice and doing what feels right for me in that moment, and also living a life that is good and genuine from the core. I feel that I'm a pretty good person, but the biggest thing is actually just talking to one of my friends about this yesterday. I believe every person is good, and no matter what they do or how they show up, even, and I mean, people might be like, yeah, Katie, that's crazy. But even like sociopaths and crazy, like deep inside them, there's some part of them that is good. And we need to recognize that in other people. And so I just try to live my life in a way that is spiritual. I'm not Gandhi, I'm not Buddha, I'm not,
Yeah.
Jesus or whoever. They're at the highest level, but I feel like I strive every day to get closer to that. And it's really releasing judgment. And I think that's something that a lot of us and a lot of women, we do that a lot and judge ourselves, and like, you just let it go. I mean, it's not easy. Obviously, it's something I constantly battle with, but it's just like trust. And I think one other thing is that we have a choice every day to choose fear or love. They're polar opposites, and so
Hmm.
I just make a conscious effort to choose love every single day. And the more you choose love and show up with love, the more spiritual of a being you are, but the more you are your true essence. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was a long answer, but that's
No,
my spiritual alignment.
that's
Because
okay.
it's been a
That's fine.
journey. It's been a journey, and I think it's something that people. It's really, so it's interesting, the spiritual side, especially when it comes from a religious standpoint. You have this feeling of like, I should do all of these things,
Mhm.
and I think it's releasing the shoulds and just kicking. You don't need to, you shouldn't do anything. You shouldn't have to should, right? Like
Right.
that's
You
not
should.
how a way to live your life. I don't know if that made sense, but
No.
um,
It
so
totally made sense because it's about not putting yourself in the box. It's about feeling, right?
right.
Like you said, choosing that love. And this comes down to the last thing, which is the golden nugget. So having like, what could you leave some of the audience with a golden nugget that if they just use that process, that simple task, that they would see these mind-blowing results in their life, right? A nice
Mhm.
little shift. So yeah, if
Yeah.
you can explain something, that would be wonderful.
Absolutely. So, I really think it is asking yourself that question of how do I want to feel today? Um, and then how do I want to show up? Like, and choosing the love over fear. And one way and a tip that I have to kind of do that more often is using technology. You talked about the iPhone.
Yeah.
Plug it into your phone and be like, in the morning, and have a little alarm that goes off at like 9 a.m. or 7 a.m. or whatever. You pick the time that works for you and say, how do I want to feel today? And what am I grateful for? And then have it go off again later in the day at like noon and say, I am grateful for three things. And then have it go off at the end of the day, like that afternoon lull that all of us have where you're totally
Yeah.
dragging ass. And it's going to say, I feel, and pick one of those words. So, like for you, you would be like, I feel captivation or captivated or whatever. And then that's instantly you tap into that feeling and you see it and you're like, oh, hell yeah, I got this, in that time where you're feeling bad. So use technology. We use our phones all the time. I mean, I'm literally attached to my iPhone, right?
Yeah.
So why not program little things that in? I mean, I have my whole schedules in there, right? All of
Yeah.
us have that. So program these reminders in that go off every day that remind you of the things that you intuitively know. So what am I grateful for? I'm grateful for this and I feel this way. And the more and you talked about this a little bit too, is like the more we have this abundance mindset and the more that we are grateful for things, the more, Dr. Wayne Dyer says, change your thoughts, change your life.
Yes.
Um, the more you change your thoughts and you have these more positive, uplifting thoughts, and you tell yourself these things more and more, that's how you manifest. That's how you actually shift into your life. And I know we're done, but like I could go into hours about the brain chemistry of all of it, like the things that happen in your brain when you rewire your thoughts is phenomenal, like your serotonin levels and the synapses of all of the energy. But again, I won't go into that. But you really, the more you think these thoughts, it really does change your mindset and it really does change how you live your life. And it's a simple thing, but you tell yourself those little things throughout the day and you actually become it. And Like start doing it honestly for a week and just notice what happens. And it's an amazing
Yes.
shift. So if you can do that every day of your life, just imagine what you can accomplish. And that's why, your goals, Carrie, and I think, my goals and all the goals that for everyone who's listening, we can totally achieve it. It's a really, I think the mindset is the foundational piece to achieving anything in your business, in your life, when it comes to success. Shifting your mindset is one of the most powerful things you can do.
It
And it's
is.
really not that hard. And
You're
we can make it simple. So let's make it simple.
Yeah, and you're right. It's absolutely not that hard. Let me make sure I'm getting it back. It's absolutely not that hard. And I like what you said because I do at 8 a.m. It says I have 5 things I want to be known for, right? I want to feel sexy. I want to be a money magnet. I want to be confident. So I have all these words that pop up every morning, right? But at night, I always go through the gratitude and just make sure I feel at peace with myself and know what I want to sleep and what I want to think about when I'm sleeping. So those are amazing. I love that that process, and that you said that, and it really does touch home. So would you please share exactly, like if you have a freebie or how we can get to know you? I will make sure I have all the links underneath there, but if there's something you're giving away to the audience or some offer, this would be the time.
Absolutely. So you guys can find me on my website is startingsmartwellness.com. It's shifting in a little bit to just my name, Katie M. Henry, but working on that. So don't go there yet. Um, but I am giving you guys my freebie is my Ignite Your Desires Masterclass. So it's basically a little bit of what we did with what Carrie experienced, but you get the full background of like why, and I'm going to go through a similar experience that Carrie had for you. So, and that's something you'll be able to download, save, and listen to whenever you need. And then the other offer that I have, 2 is my lucky number. So 2 numbers in repetition are, really powerful. So
Yes.
for 2222, you can do my gratitude challenge, which is taking gratitude to a deeper level. So 3 parts with your mind, body, and your soul. And you're going to get an abundance of information from me. So that's something that you guys can grab as well. And you can find me on social media with at Coached with Katie. That's where I am at Instagram and Twitter. And I just honestly am just incredibly grateful for the opportunity to connect with all of you. Like reach out. You can email me, Katie at katiemhenry.com. I love responding to emails. So like fire away. That's totally fine. I just am really grateful for you, Carrie, for creating this event. I've been listening to some of the other speakers and everybody is just incredible. So it's an honor to be here and an honor to connect with everybody here. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Katie, for coming back and sharing everything with you, because people have a desire, they just don't know how to map it out. They don't know how to pull it out, right? We go into life and we put these blankets on our body and on our soul, and we cover ourselves and we hide. And to rip them off feels amazing, right? It's like, oh my God, there's my bikini body. It's been underneath all along, right? So I just want to say thank you. And remember, ladies, this is all for you. These beautiful women have been able to share their time with you and really let you show up for yourself. So get out there and unleash your purpose, right? Find that prosperity that you need to start creating that profit. And it's all starting within by you showing up, creating that mindset, right? That prosperity mindset, and owning that space every single day. So I want to say thank you again for being here, Katie. And like she said, we're all about the numbers. So that's why I did it on 11/11, because I'm going to name it the 11/11 healing summit, and you can feel the energy of all the women that I picked. They're perfectly placed to heal your internal feelings about yourself, so that you can claim that prosperity and learn how to be a better salesperson, learn how to up level in your sales or up level in your coaching, and all those things that you need. But you can't do one without the other, right? If your potential's here for your sales, but you don't feel it, you won't match, right? So it's about getting to that flow, like we mentioned before. So I'm going to say thank you so much. We're going to be signing off. Make sure you stay tuned. I'm going to have this all packaged up in a membership site for all of you women so that you can have it in your digital library forever. Don't forget that. Share, share, share. And we were going to say goodbye. So let me make sure I let Katie say goodbye.
Oh, bye, everybody. Thank you so much again. You guys, Carrie is creating magic here. So I'm just thrilled to be a part of it and to connect with all of you beautiful souls. So thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you, everyone. We're going to be signing off and have a good day. We hope to see you soon. Bye.